so happy you're here for our Asana, our morning Asana practice. We're going to be doing a Sun Salutation today, Sun Surya Namaskara C, and adding a few hip openers into practice this morning. So let's let the kitty in. That's what the little kitty door is for, but he prefers me to just let him in. Huh? This is Xander the cat. My cat, Alexander the Great. So let's sit in a nice comfortable position for a moment and feel those sits bones on the ground. Diving inward, you can close your eyes, rest your hands on your knees. You can put your fingers in a mudra, taking the thumb and touching either fingertip, finding which one feels right for you this morning, which meridian needs to be activated, or taking the hands in front and touching all the fingers and the thumbs together, which is my favorite. And closing the eyes and diving within for a moment. Taking this moment to scan the inner being, bringing the breath down to the belly. Nice deep belly breaths as we trigger that parasympathetic nervous system and the relaxation response in the body. Body is more efficient when it is in the relaxation response. The brain works better. All aspects of our body. Health building hormones are released. We heal. Our vitality increases. Everything opens up. When we breathe in the chest, or when we're in high anxiety, when we're in the stress response, and the sympathetic nervous system is in full gear, everything contracts. It's a fight or flight. So the other systems are getting deprived. So we want to make sure our body rests in the relaxation response. We are in the parasympathetic nervous system. And of course, if we face a grizzly bear up in the mountains on a hike, we want that sympathetic nervous system to kick in so that we can respond appropriately. But we don't want to be in that state on a normal basis. That's why we breathe into the belly, into that lower belly. And let's move into 3-part yogic breath, breathing into the belly, the ribs, the chest, and release. Inhale into the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Dirga Pranayama, and let it go. One more time, inhaling into the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Pausing a moment at the top, and then just letting it go. And settling into your body, settling into being comfortable in this body and being very present here now. Simply breathing. And take a moment to dive in and scan the body, noticing what it's like to be inside of you this morning, today, whatever time of day it is for you. Noticing sensations. Maybe you feel the heart beating inside your chest. Powerful pulsation. It expands throughout your whole body. And taking this moment to set an intention for yourself. Plant the most beautiful seed into the rich soil of your consciousness. And gently opening your eyes. And let's do a little alternate nostril breathing, Nadi. So we're going to do a Vishnu Mudra. We're going to take the pointer and the middle finger. You can either curl them in and use the thumb and the ring or pinky finger to close off the nostrils. Or you can take those fingers and put it on your third eye to activate the third eye. I'm going to hold it down just so you can see me better. So let's exhale completely. Inhale completely. Take the thumb and close off that nostril and exhale out the opposite side. We always switch at the exhale. Inhale, same side. And releasing the thumb, bringing the finger down and exhale over to the thumb side. Inhale, same side. And switching on the exhale, bringing the thumb down and exhale out the other side. Inhale, same side. And switching at the exhale and continuing on your own at your own pace for a few more breaths. Activating those nadis. Couple more breaths. Releasing the hands, releasing the breath. Taking a moment to dive in again and noticing the inner being. Taking the time this time to dive into the emotional body. Not pushing any emotions away. Allowing whatever's arising to arise. Not labeling the emotions, just basking in that felt sense. Feeling it all fully. Not judging them, good or bad, right or wrong. They're just all emotion. And gently and kindly opening the eyes. Beautiful job. We're going to come up to a standing position. Coming up to standing. And let's shake out the legs and shake out the arms. Just waking up the body, and let's move into some twists. Waking up that spine with our twists. And then let's moving into our three-part breath that we love to do. We're going to inhale the arms up, inhale the arms out, and inhale the arms up to the sky. And then exhaling completely while we bend the knees and relax the head. So, inhaling. One more time. Beautiful job. And just coming up nice and slow. Allowing that spine to come up. Beautiful job. We're going to move into our sun salutation. So we're going to come to the front of our mat, the small edge of our mat. Move into our Tadasana, our mountain pose. And move into our loops so we can feel that beautiful postural alignment. Feeling a lift of the arches. Might lift the toes and rest them back down. Engaging the calves. Engaging the quadriceps. Knees come back to neutral. Feeling a lift of the knees. Pelvic loop as we bring that pelvis into neutral. Kidney loop. Feeling the lift of the ribs and the front and back. Shoulder loop. Coming up with the chin. Chin comes in a little bit. Shoulders are going to go back, and then they're going to drop down away from the ears. And then feel that head reaching up towards the sky. And let's inhale as we bring those arms up. Move into a little back bend. And on our exhale, we're going to stick that tailbone out, and we're going to hinge at the hips. Coming all the way down. Giant angel wings. So bring the hands in tight to the body. Thumbs are next to the little toes, or you can use blocks for this, or you can bend those knees as much as you need to come down. Uttanasana, forward fold, letting the head relax and release. I do a little yes, no, moving it in gentle movements. Inhale halfway up, feeling that spine lengthen away from the body, the head reaching away from the body, and then resting back down in Uttanasana. Thumbs are next to the little toes. The hands are rooted either on your block or on the mat. And we're going to take that right leg back behind us, move it to about 30 degrees. The front heel of the front foot is going right straight through the heel of the back foot. And we're going to engage that back thigh a little bit as we come up. Oh, we're in sun salutation. We're moving into lunge. So that back foot is going to be 90 degrees. Both feet are like railroad tracks. But if you'd like to move it into 30 degrees, that works okay as well. So the front knee, we're going to move so it's right, balanced right over the ankle. And it's okay if it comes back. We just don't want it to be forward. And my leg is feeling better to come to the side a little bit. And then we're going to, these hips are going to be squared. So that right hip, I'm going to move it a little bit forward. I'm balancing my torso right over my hips here. And those arms are going to come up into a nice warrior. And we're going to engage those bandhas. So our Mula Bandha is the pelvic floor, the Kegels, perineum. The Uddiyana Bandha is the belly comes in and up a little bit. Charandala Bandha, the chin comes in a little, and the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. And then we breathe and bring the prana and the life force in and build the dynamic energy within us. Breathe. One more nice deep breath. And on your exhale, we're going to bring the hands down to the mat. We're going to take that left leg back and we're going to move into downward facing dog. And then allow the heels to come down towards the floor, the earth, the mat. They may or may not make it. That's okay. Head is relaxing between the arms. And the tailbone is lifting up to the sky. Thighs are coming back. And engage those bandhas and let's breathe. One more breath. And beginning to hinge into a plank or push-up position. Then we move into Chaturanga. You can drop those knees down to the mat, or you can stay in a full push-up position. And we're going to bend the elbows, and we're going to come down, keeping those elbows in towards the body, coming all the way down nice and slowly until we're all the way down onto the mat. Beautiful job. Elbows are in towards the body. Hands are by the shoulders. And we're going to move into a little baby cobra. So pressing the pelvis into the floor. This is our foundation where we're really locked into the earth. And on our next inhale, without very much weight on the hands, we're going to use the back muscles. We're going to lift the head and lift the heart up into a little cobra. And breathe here. On your next exhale, coming down, releasing it, pushing yourself up into a table pose. We're going to curl those toes under, push back up into a downward facing dog, tailbone up towards the sky, head in between the arms. Thighs are back, heels are coming down towards the mat. Engage those bandhas. Let's breathe here. On your next inhale, lifting the head and the heart, looking between your hands, and walk, step, or jump that right leg right back between the hands. And now we are on a lunge on the other side. So we're going to engage that back thigh a little, come up onto the knee, feeling those thighs pressing together as well. Balancing that torso right over the hips. We're going to square the hips so the back, that left hip is going to come move forward, just so those hips are square. Sometimes when the leg is back, it pulls the hip back a little. And then engage those bandhas, knees right over the ankle, engage those bandhas, and let's bring those arms up into a nice lunge on this side. And breathe. One more breath. Inhale, reaching up, and exhale, bringing those hands down to the mat. And let's bring that back leg up to meet the front in our Uttanasana, forward fold. Feeling a nice deep forward fold here, bending the knees as much as you need to. And breathe. Inhale halfway up. Feeling that spine lengthen away from the body. And then exhale, hinging forward. On your next inhale, lifting the head first, the heart to protect that lower back. Head is pretty heavy, so we want it to come up first. And moving into our mountain again. Nice back bend back. And let's come to center. Let's do a little bit of half moon and Tandasana. There's two different half moons. This is the easy one. We're just going to reach over side to side in a little lateral flexion of that spine. Keeping the breath flowing, the bandhas engaged, going back and forth at your own pace, opening up that side body. And coming back to center, let's go into another little back bend as we inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to stick the tailbone under, out, and we're going to hinge at those hips as we come down into our Uttanasana. And taking a couple breaths here, you can grab those elbows if you want to deepen the stretch a little bit. You can bring your hands behind your back. And breathe. Engage those bandhas. And let's inhale halfway up. And exhale back down. Bring your hands to either those blocks or the mat. And bending the knees. And let's take that right leg back behind us. And let's drop that back knee. And let's come up for a moment. We're going to do a little bit of a low lunge that's going to open the hip. And then we'll go do some lunge rocks too. So just moving into this low lunge here, beginning to lunge forward just a little. Feel those hips move forward and find where, and it's okay to let the knee go a little toward the ankle when the knee is down. Just feeling that sensation in this hip as you feel this nice hip opening stretch. And just resting here for a moment, a couple breaths. Just resting in this edge, these sensations. And coming back. Beautiful job. And then you can bring your hands down to the mat. And let's move into some lunge rocks. So we're going to lunge forward. And again, feeling that hip opening. Moving around, making some gentle movements. And lunging back. Feeling that foot flex and extend. Feeling the sensation in the back of your leg. Keeping that breath flowing. Moving back and forth in your lunge rocks. Finding your own pace, your own rhythm, going inward. This is your time to be with yourself, noticing sensation. Fully present to the body, the sensations. You need to put a blanket under your knee, you can do that, or a towel. Coming back to center. We're going to take that left leg back and move into our table pose. Knees are right under the hips and hands are right under the shoulders. And then we are going to move into our cat-cow. So inhaling into our cow as we stick the tailbone out, arch the back, lift the head and the heart. Exhale into our cat. So we tuck that tailbone under, round that back like a Halloween cat, dropping the head, looking in towards the thighs, and moving back and forth at your own pace. And cat-cow, flexion and extension of the spine. You can, trying to exhale into your cat and inhale into your cow. And beginning now, when you go into your cat, go into some circles, coming back a little and taking some circles with the hips. Feeling that nice motion with the hips. And moving in the other direction, circle the other direction. Back is rounded. We're in our cat. Keeping the breath flowing. Feeling a nice stretch as we circle those hips. Moving back into our cow. Moving back and forth into your cat-cow, adding some spontaneous movements, doing what feels good for you. Bringing all your awareness to sensation in the body, fully present to your physical body, your body temple, the living temple, in which the divine awareness that is your true self, your infinite self, animates through for a blink of an eye. And for this short time while we animate through this body, let's use this teaching device, this tool, this sacred temple, to the best of our ability to extend that awareness and that love of Source into the world. So let's go back into our down dog. We're going to curl those toes under, lift those knees and the hips, and we're going to move into our down dog. Feeling that we're going to walk the dog, so we're going to drop one heel down to the mat while the other extends up, stretching those calves one at a time, feeling a nice stretch as we walk the dog. Keeping that breath flowing. Bond is engaged. Building that energy field within your body so that you can be more vital, can serve greater through this body temple. Coming back to neutral, and we're going to move back into Chaturanga. So you can drop the knees if you like, or you can be in a full push-up. And let's see if we can do a few push-ups. Here, just doing some push-ups to tone the arms, those biceps and triceps, create some strength in the body. Maybe you can only do one, and that's totally fine. And when you're done with your push-ups, just coming, so you're resting on the mat, flat on the mat, and we'll turn the head to one side. Everybody's going to be different. Some people will do one, and some people might do 47. So we'll turn the head to one side and just taking a moment to connect with the earth. And connecting with the earth in a very loving way, knowing that we are bodies, our physical bodies are earth energy. Everything in our body was once in the earth. Air we breathe, the food we eat, all the elements in our body are from the earth. We're an earth species. And then this infinite divine consciousness animates through, knowing we are not our body. However, we have this opportunity as our conscious awareness animates through for a little while to honor this body as a living temple. And turning your head to the other way, and again, absorbing from the earth as many minerals and whatever you may need. Allow the earth to offer that to you as you soak it in like a sponge. Maybe it's wisdom, maybe it's vitamins and minerals or information you may need. Become a sponge and absorb in whatever the earth wants to offer you that your physical body may need. And bringing the head back to center. Let's bring the hands out in about 30 degrees beside us. Legs are stretching out, pressing that pelvis into the earth. And on our next inhale, let's lift the head, the heart, the legs, the arms in our bird. It's also been called airplane. And breathe. Nice back strengthener. Nice variation from our up dog or our cobra. One more nice deep breath, lifting up a little higher. And releasing down, bringing those hands back underneath the shoulders, pushing yourself up into table pose, curling those toes under, lifting those hips and those knees, coming back to our down dog. We're going to move into a little hip opener here. So let's first move into three-legged dog. So we're going to take that, let's take that left leg up, out behind us. Bend that left knee and then open up to the left side a little bit. Both hands firmly rooted into the mat. Three-legged dog, just opening up the hip. Engage the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. And releasing the leg down. Beautiful job. Let's go to the other side. Let's go into three-legged dog. So we lift that right leg up, three-legged dog. Bend the right knee. Open up the body to the right. Feeling a nice stretch in that hip. And engage those bandhas and breathe. One more breath. And releasing that leg down. Beautiful job. And we're going to move into pigeon from here. So let's lift that left leg up into three-legged dog. And then let's bend that knee and bring that knee so it's right between the hands, taking the foot out. And then sliding the back leg back. So ultimately, it's nice to get the leg parallel to the front of the mat, this front leg, but I'm not able to do that. So if you need to bend that in a little bit. Bringing the hands up in front and taking that hip so that it's balancing. You don't want to be dropping down. You want to be balancing up. And then if you're able to bring your hands, you can either bring your hands to a block, or if you're able to come down onto your forearms, bringing the head down towards the mat to really give yourself a nice hip opener stretch. And engage those bandhas and breathe. Really enjoying the sensation in this body temple, this living temple, knowing the conscious awareness that animates through this living temple is eternal. It's having a temporary experience. One more breath here. Beautiful job. And then coming up onto the hands. Let's take that knee back. And we'll just stay in a table pose for this. We'll take that right leg up, your knee up, bringing the foot out. See if you can get this shin parallel to the front of the mat if you're super flexible. I'm not able to. And then balancing up. Back thigh is coming back. That left leg is moving back. And then coming up so you're balancing. You're not flopping down either side. Balancing up. This is where you'll get the most benefit on your hip. And then if you can come and bring those forearms down and rest the head onto the hands or the mat. And taking some nice deep breaths into this nice deep hip opener pigeon. Noticing sensation, basking in sensation. One more breath here. And then coming up back onto the hands. And let's bring that knee. And into table. And let's take that right knee, that right foot. I'm going to move a little back onto my mat a little better. And we're going to come up and move into this hip opener here. So beginning to just hinge the body in this low lunge, hinging the body forward, those hips forward, feeling that stretch in the hips. And enjoying that stretch, allowing that to open up that left hip now. And just breathing into that for a few breaths. Beautiful job. And then bringing the hands down to the mat and let's move into our lunge rock. So we'll lunge forward and you can make some movements. Feeling the sensation in that left hip. And then as you lunge back, feeling a nice stretch on the front leg, those hamstring and calves. You can flex and extend that front foot for more sensation. And keeping those bandhas slightly engaged as you breathe and bring the prana in and move at your own pace in these nice lunge rocks. You need to put a blanket under your knee. You can do that. Keeping the breath flowing, keeping the energy moving. You know your Jaya breath. You can use your Jaya breath. Find yourself going into thought. Move yourself back into sensations in the body. Fully present. The physical sensations, the energetic sensations, moving and flowing through the body. And coming back to a neutral position, we're going to curl those back toes under. Lift that back leg up and then walk, step, or jump that left foot to meet the front and releasing into your forward fold. You can grab those elbows, Uttanasana, and breathe. You can release and relax that head a little bit. And on your next inhale, coming up into half forward fold, hands on the shins, right below the knees, extending that head and spine out away from the body. And then exhaling back down in Uttanasana. And on your next inhale, lifting the head first, the heart, giant angel wings coming all the way up. We're going to do one more sun salutation to breath. So we're going to inhale into our mountain, exhaling into our forward fold. Inhale into half forward fold. Exhaling into forward fold. Hands on the mat. We're going to inhale into a lunge as we bring that foot back. You can either keep the hands on the mat or you can come all the way up. Exhaling into downward facing dog. Tailbone up towards the sky. We're going to inhale as we swoop into our up dog. And exhale back into down dog. And we're going to inhale back into up dog. We're going to do this a few times. And exhale back into down dog. Really giving that spine some great. And we're going to inhale into up dog. This will be our last time. Heart is open and exhale back into down dog. Inhale, right leg up into a lunge, either low lunge or you can go into a high lunge real quick if you can do that. And then exhaling into forward fold as you bring that back foot back up. Inhale into half forward fold. Exhale into Uttanasana. And inhale into our Tadasana. You lift the head, the heart, coming all the way up into a beautiful mountain. Bringing the hands right in front of the heart. And taking a moment here to dive into your own being. Close the eyes. Notice the sensations in the body. You may feel the heart beating. Did that flow create energetically within you? Noticing, feeling it. And releasing the hands down. Let's shake out. Shake everything out. Some twists. Let's move into a tree balance. Just kind of keeps throw a little balance in there every once in a while. So let's set this balance up first. So we're going to take all our energy and all our weight into the right standing leg, as if this right leg was the trunk of your tree. Imagining even those roots going deep into the earth, deep down and out, really rooting this leg into the earth. And very little weight on the left leg. And then taking that left leg and bringing that out, opening up the hip. And you can rest the left heel on the right leg if you like. If you want to challenge yourself a little more, you can bring that foot up so you're balancing. Remember, you can always use a wall to hold on to, or you can just rest on that heel. And then if you want to bring it up, you can bring it up more. We just recommend you do not put that foot right directly on the knee. And then bring those branches up. That helps with your balance. You could be a deciduous tree or a coniferous tree. Engage those bandhas and let's breathe. Find a drishti, a spot in front of you that's not moving. You can rest your gaze at. One more breath. And release. Beautiful job. And we're going to go over to the other side. So we're going to take all our energy, all our weight into this left standing leg. And now this left leg is our tree trunk. Very little weight on the right leg. So imagining this left leg, the tree trunk, and again, visualizing those roots going down into the earth from your feet, deep down and out into all sides. We're going to turn this right leg out, opening that hip. Going to rest the right heel on the left leg. And this may be your tree. If you'd like to challenge yourself more and bring that leg up a little bit, anywhere you like on your leg, just not up against the knee. I invite you to do that. Sometimes you can help guide the foot up a little higher. Bring those tree branches out and breathe. Find your drishti. And if you fall out, just come right back in. One more breath here. And release. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. And let's clasp those hands behind us. We're going to go into our standing yoga mudra. And we're going to hinge forward as we open up the chest and bring those shoulder blades together. Extend those arms behind us. And then hinging forward and bringing those arms so they're reaching up. Head is down, arms up. And rest and breathe in this beautiful standing yoga mudra where we're honoring the heart. The head is lower than the heart. And breathe. One more nice deep breath. And then releasing the hands, bringing the hands down to the mat, coming to the knees. Let's move into our two frogs. Asana. So first one is really easy. You're sitting here in hero's pose, resting on those heels, comfortable position. And we're going to take the hands, we're going to bring the thumbs in to the palms, and we're going to wrap the fingers around the thumbs. And we're going to bring those fists in to the navel area. This helps with our digestion. And we're going to inhale as we raise the head and spine up. And as we exhale, we're going to hinge forward, keeping those fingers in the navel. And as long as there's no pain, if there's pain, always back off. Hinging forward and taking a couple breaths here in this nice deep frog. And on your next inhale, coming up. Beautiful job. Really good. Really can help with constipation. If you have constipation, it's a um, great pose. Now we're going to move into the other frog, our hip opening frog. So we're going to bring the hands down to the mat. We're going to take those knees and we're going to bring them out. So the knees are out nice and wide as your flexibility can handle. And then we're going to flex the feet and then bring those shins and calves and the feet out wider than the knees if you can. And here's where we get into the fun stuff. The hip opener, we're going to hinge the body back towards the feet. So find your edge. You may not, this morning I'm not going back much at all. So just rest where you are, where you find your edge as you hinge those buttocks back towards the feet. And engage those bandhas and breathe right on your edge. Never feeling pain, but getting on that feels so good edge. One more breath. Beautiful. Can hinge forward again. Bring those feet back in. You can start to bring those knees back in. And let's move into a child's pose. Opening up those knees and just allowing to rest in child's pose. And then coming up, let's come to the front of the mat. And let's move into some spinal rocks. Get us down onto our backs. And if you don't have enough cushion for spinal rocks, just gently coming down onto your backs. Supine position. Face up. And eventually, everybody just coming down onto your back. Knees are up, feet are flat on the mat. Beautiful. We're going to move into another little hip opener here. I like to call this 4. So we're going to take that right leg up. We're going to rest the right ankle right on the left. Backwards here. So I'm taking my left leg. So we'll just switch whatever leg you have. I have my left leg on my right knee here on the thigh. And then taking that right leg or whatever leg the knee is bent and bringing that up, clasping the hands behind the knee and then pulling that in towards your body. Feeling that nice hip opener. And engage those bandhas and breathe. Finding your edge. That nice feels so good. And you might, as you go through this and you continue to breathe, you may be able to pull that leg in a little bit more, feeling some new sensations. Keeping the breath flowing. And releasing that leg. And we're going to switch sides. So I'm going to take the right leg now and rest it on the left foot. I kind of confused you in the beginning. I apologize. But switching to the opposite side, whatever side that is, bringing that leg up, clasping the hands behind the knee, and pulling that leg in towards the body. And breathe. Finding your edge here. And seeing if you can pull that leg in just a little more. And releasing the leg, allowing that to come down. And let's just bring both the knees into the chest and rock around a little bit. And let's let that right leg come straight flat down onto the mat, hugging the left knee, bringing that out a little bit, away from the ribs, and hugging that knee in towards the armpit, the left armpit, as you press the right thigh down into the floor. So you're going to feel two lines of energy going in opposite directions. Engage those bandhas and breathe. Beautiful. Let's keep that left knee up. Now you can, if you have straps, if you need straps, you can use that. You can strap either a tie or a belt around your foot, or if you're able to grab the outside of that left foot, you can do that. And we're going to straighten that left leg. Just straighten it straight up. And then let's bring that left leg over out to the side. Opening the hips. And find your edge here. And once you find your edge, taking a few breaths. And bringing that leg back straight up, bending that knee. And let's go to the other side. So we're going to rest the left leg straight out onto the mat, pressing that left thigh down into the earth. Right knee is going to come up towards the chest. We're going to open that up so it's more aligned with the armpit. So when we pull that right knee into the body, it doesn't crunch our ribs. We're pulling it right into the armpit. And feel those two lines of energy. Left leg is pressing into the floor, the earth. Right knee is coming in towards the body. Engage the bandhas and breathe. Then releasing that leg just a little bit, the right leg. We're going to keep that knee into the chest. Using either your straps or if you can take your hand and grab the outside of your right foot, straightening that right leg. And then bringing that right leg out to the side, opening up that hip. Finding your edge here and just resting the leg on your edge. And bringing that leg back to center, bending that knee back, and relaxing that leg to the floor. Let's bring those knees into the chest and do a little rocking. And let's move into our baby pose and finish up. So bring those feet so they're facing the sky, opening up the knees, grabbing the outside of the feet and just pulling them in towards the armpits. For our last hip opener, you can rock back and forth. And then moving into happy baby or moving into any last pose that you'd like to. And we're not going to do our releases today because we ran out of time. Just playing around and moving your body. Enjoying being in your body, this body temple. No physical temple can compare to the sacredness of this body temple. This is a living temple. The divine awareness that you are a pure extension from divine source, creator itself, created in source's likeness, is animating through and living in this temple, body temple. This is the living temple. You are the vine. You are the Holy Grail. After making any last adjustments, let's move into our Savasana. Extending those legs out. Resting the arms out to the side. Allowing the entire physical body to rest into the earth in a comfortable position. Letting everything go. Relaxing and releasing into the earth. All tension just melting into the earth. Allowing the body to become heavier. And we'll relax in a few moments of silence as you allow the entire practice to integrate through your body and your being. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly. Beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes, stretching out the body. And rolling over to one side or the other. Taking a breath here. And pushing yourself up into a seated position. And closing the eyes and diving inside and scanning the body, noticing the inner being. Noticing the spaciousness within you, the aliveness within you. And take a moment now to reaffirm that intention by giving that seed some attention, maybe watering it with your reaffirmation. I'm going to conclude with Namaste. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of light, of truth, and of peace. When I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. Please check out Ecstatic Yoga. You can go to EcstaticYoga.Studio to find out more information on our yoga teacher trainings and retreats. Wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day. And we will be back for a mindfulness meditation in about 5 minutes.